Alright, welcome to Parallel Lines, Part 3. In this one, we're going to find out the measure of the angle that makes the lines parallel. Now, in the previous two worksheets, you were assuming that the lines were parallel and trying to figure out what the angles were, or using the angular relationships to solve for x. Now, here, you're kind of working the other way around. You're trying to figure out, well, what should these angles be in order to make these lines parallel? But it turns out it's all really exactly the same. Either the angles need to be congruent or they need to be supplementary. So let's take a look. Again, we're just going to look at our zigzag pattern. So those are our blue angles. And here are our red angles. And we see that the 112 and the unknown angle, we'll just call that x, are a red and a blue. And if they were both red, then they'd be congruent, and that would make the lines parallel. Or if they were both blue, then they would be congruent, and that would make the lines parallel. But since one's red and one is blue, then they have to be supplementary, meaning that x plus 112 equals 180. So then, to figure out what x has to be, or the unknown angle, we'll just subtract 112 from both sides. Why do I keep wanting to write 122? So then we go there, and so x must equal, let's see, 180 minus 110 would be 70, so this is 68. Okay. So that means the unknown angle must be 68 degrees. Now, when you go to do this, I'm just showing you how to do this and show your work. And we're setting it up here so that when we go later to solve for x with more complicated expressions, it's going to be the same setup. But, of course, if this is all you had to do, really, I would just say, well, they're supplementary, so 180 minus 112 is 68. Let's do another one. Let's see here. Let's go down here. So in this case, we'll mark our blue angles, and we'll just in our zigzag pattern, we'll mark our red angles in our zigzag pattern, and then we'll notice that the unknown angle, which we'll just call x, and the 111 degree angle are both blue angles. So in this case, they're congruent, or x equals 110 degrees. So the unknown angle is 110 degrees. All right. And of course, I guess I should say this correctly, if the unknown angle is 110 degrees, then the lines are parallel. Right? Just like up here, if the unknown angle is 68 degrees, then the lines were parallel. As opposed to what we were doing previously, where we said, if the lines are parallel, then we figured the angle must be such and such. All right? But again, the actual arithmetic or algebra is all pretty much the same. Okay, backside. Same deal, except we're going to do, we're going to be dealing with some more complicated expressions here, but go about the same way. Mark our zigzag pattern going one direction. Mark our zigzag pattern going the other direction. We see that the 8x plus 5 and the 7x plus 15 are both blue, so that must mean that 7x plus 15 is, that angle there is congruent to this angle down here. So these expressions are equal to each other. Are you done with your toast?
Yeah, but...
All right. Well, we're going to have to pause for a second while I go clean some hands. Parallel lines. Okay, we're back. So let's see. To solve this, I'm going to subtract 7x from both sides. I could have subtracted 8x, but that would have left me with a negative. Yes, Sammy. So we got plus 15 equals, of course, we have to put the plus there. 8x minus 7x is just a single x. We don't have to put the 1. Plus 5. Okay. Let's see, now we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. And then that leaves us with 10 equals x. So, again, in this case, we want to differentiate between, before we were assuming the lines were parallel, And if they're parallel, then the angles would be congruent and x would be equal to 10. But in this case, we're saying if x is equal to 10, then these two expressions will be equal, these two angles will be congruent, and the lines will be parallel. So the reasoning's a little different. Yes, parallel, Sammy. The reasoning's a little different, but the overall process is the same. Let's look at one more. Number 9 down here, yeah. In this case, when we go and color in our zigzag pattern, red, 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 and green, 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 you'll notice that the 110 and the 7x plus 14 are both, the one's red, one's green, which means they're supplementary. So 110 plus 7x plus 14 equals 180. So now we'll do combining like terms. 14 and 110 is 124 plus 7x equals 180. And then we'll subtract 124 from both sides. And that leaves us with 7x.
7x?
Yes, 7x equals 56, which we divide both sides by 7.
What are these grades?
And they're just some worksheets, bud. And then x equals 8. So again, if x equals 8,
what are you
then
doing?
this equation is true, which means that these two angles are supplementary, which makes these two lines parallel. That's the order of the reasoning, as opposed to the other direction. The lines are parallel, therefore the angles are supplementary, therefore this equation is true, therefore x has this value. So, two different types of reasoning, but again, the actual algebra is all the same. Okay, so good luck on the rest of these. Make sure you check your answers before you turn it all in, and have a good day.